Hello, I'm Jung-hee. I was teacher and I retired 5 years ago. After I retired, it was nice to rest at home at first. But after a while, I started to feel disconnected from society. I usually leave the TV on because the house feels too empty without it. I wanted to contribute to society and use my time in a meaningful way, but I didn't know where and how to begin. That was when I came across 3355 organization.
When I first retired, I was honestly having a hard time. I couldn't tell my children, but I felt so depressed. It wasn't just about money, it felt like I was becoming useless. Then one day, my old colleague told me about 3355 organization. At first, I said no because I had never done any kind of making or creative work before. But they also needed someone for admin and documents. I used to work at a bank, so I thought maybe that could be my role.
For me, it was purely about money. I'm only 55, my youngest is still in high school, and I still have my parents to support. But finding another job these days has been really difficult. And I came across this organization through their YouTube channel. It said I could earn some money. So why not?
We had several meetings before the making process began. We were looking at possible sites and I explained what these building elements can do. But words alone wasn't enough. They wanted clear examples and guidance. So with samples of building elements and booklets, I showed how the related skills and materials could become architectural elements. Communicating with them, rather than telling them what to do, was where the collective design process began. I encouraged their participation from the design process and I translated their ideas into feasible building elements. The making process begins at home. It may happen alone or together. Those with more experience can guide others, while the YouTube instruction video helped them work independently and easily. The home is no longer only a space of TV sounds, silence, or comfort, but becomes a space for daily contribution, opening up the possibility of new activity. Then each part of building elements is brought to the workshop studio. Finished parts can either be brought in directly or delivered by other participants when domestic maker finds it difficult to come. Because we are making building elements large out of small pieces, it has to be done collectively. When the parts made at home gather one by one, and the people come together too. Then the assembly begins in the workshop studio. This is where the most of collective making process and YouTube production take place. Early retirees who are good at making, record, and document the instruction video for the future use in later projects. Those who know about video content creation edit YouTube contents to reach other early retirees and the wider public. They also assemble the pieces of building elements. Early retirees gather here and take on different roles based on what they can do. The workshop studio becomes a shared hub where the time and abilities come together and create synergy. Once everything is ready, we take it to the site of intervention. These elements can be used at different stages in a building's life. They can be introduced in a new construction, they can be added when an aging building needs repair, and also they can be used when an underused building is being brought back into use. It can create a softer environment in a senior community center by becoming a wall and window. It can create shade for children as a canopy. Sometimes it can replace an aging roof. It can also act as a protective layer on an abandoned building, slowing further weathering and surface deterioration. This is the moment when their work moves beyond the workshop and becomes visible to public and make a change. It is no longer just a shared activity or a hobby among early retirees, but something that can be seen, used, and recognized by others. This is where its value becomes legible.
After joining, it didn't feel like I had simply found a job. It felt like my daily life had changed.
Earning money through this work has eased some of the pressure.
I had something to get up for and people I worked with. It made me feel that someone still needs me. Of course, working together isn't always easy, but it's still worth it. I like that I can keep
내가 갖고
creating new
있는
value,
이런
not just
경험
money.
가치 식 같은 거 이런 거를 이제 지역 사회에 환원하면서
그리고 다른
거기에서
사람과 같이 뭘 할 수 있다는 것도 또 즐거운 일이니까 그런
그렇게 생각하니까 이제 귀가 열려 있으니까 어떤 다음 단계를 완성하는 게 아니라 할 수 있을 때까지 하겠다라고 하는 생각을 가지니까 마음이 되게 편한 거예요. 그러니까.
보내고 싶은 생각이 많이
뭐 그렇게 해서 와 우리 저 혁명을 일으켜야겠다.